from Elliott Ballpark under the lights on a Friday night for the first time this year. It's a big showdown in the Big East, a classic matchup as the St. John's Red Storm come to Storrs to take on the UConn Huskies in Game 1 of a 3-game weekend series in the Big East. Good evening, everybody. Alongside Chris Jones, I'm Randy Brochu. Thrilled to be with you tonight for St. John's and UConn. And Jonesy, the Red Storm are red hot. 22-5-1 is their overall record, unbeaten in 7 in a row. But UConn has turned a corner as well. Winners of 4 in a row and 5 of their last 6. Both teams playing great baseball with a lot on the line here for 3 games in the Big East.
Should be a fun one. St. John's at the top of the league, 3-0 after their first weekend of play. UConn at 2-1, knocking off Xavier a weekend ago, and it's great to see St. John's back. As you'll get a look at today's starting pitchers, Gabe Van Emmen trying to get a bounce-back start for him after last week against Xavier, and Kyle Chase, the youngster, will be replacing their ace, Xavier Kohlhasser, who is out with injury, so that is a development coming into this series as well, as we'll get to see Chase on the hill for his 3rd start.
Chase has only appeared in 3 games and 5 innings. He'll be facing Van Emmen, as Jonesy mentioned, coming off a loss his last time out to Xavier, and the UConn Bats, which are swinging it now. They put up 20 against Maine last time out here at Elliott Ballpark, including 4 home runs. All of a sudden, UConn is hitting up and down the lineup. They're going to look to carry that momentum into this big showdown in the Big East this weekend here at home at Elliott Ballpark. It's Game 1 of this 3-game series between St. John's and UConn. Starting lineups and first pitch are next on Flow Sports.
At this time, fans, we ask that you please rise and remove your hats as they will now honor America and those defending our freedoms with the playing of our national anthem.
UConn Huskies 14-16 overall, 2-1 after their series win against Xavier in a rematch of last year's Big East Championship, taking on St. John's, who is beating The sun sets over RZA Performance Center here on a Friday evening in the Big East. Van Emmen begins the ball game with a fastball inside of Jackson Tucker, and we are underway under the lights. UConn with a slight edge in this head-to-head series, 65-61 their record. There's a drive deep to right field by Tucker, off the wall, out of the reach of the leaping Studley. And Tucker cruises in a third with a leadoff triple. Studley going back on it, just ran out of room, and Tucker extends his hitting streak to 12 and his on-base streak to 18.
Yeah, we'll get another look at this as Jake going back on this ball. Looked like he had a beat on it for a moment. It's wind blowing out to left today. Trying to size it up, just missed it. And a leadoff triple here to get things going.
And that brings up the right fielder, Ben Beauchamp, at 359 on the season. UConn will concede the run with the infield back, except Broadhurst sneaks in on a pickoff attempt. He doesn't squeeze the throw. They wouldn't have gotten Tucker anyways. So UConn trying to pick Tucker off at third base with nobody out here in the first. Beauchamp with 21 runs batted in this season, and ball one sails high. Van Emmen lasted just, yeah, here it is. Look at that shining upon the Johnnies and the Huskies. Strike one on the inside corner. Timothy Carey, the home plate umpire. Federico De Jesus at first, and Jeffrey Arthur at third. 1-1. Fouled away, and now Van Emmen gets ahead.
Now you got a couple options here with the runner at third, less than two. You go back foot slider or maybe elevate a fastball here. Try and get a punch out, maybe a pop-up on the infield.
Beauchamp's a tough out, 14 strikeouts this season and 103 at-bats, but that is number 15 on a breaking ball down and in. The back foot slider from Van Emmen to whiff Ben Beauchamp.
Nice job there from Gabe. See him execute this pitch. Tough pitch to hit. Beauchamp, his 15th strikeout of the year.
Now Blake Mayberry, who is raking .422 through 26 games, 35 hits and 83 at-bats. Strike one from Van Emmen. Now ball high as Van Emmen pitches quickly. The count even 1-1 on Mayberry.
Yeah, there won't be too much time to talk in between pitches here.
Just outside. And try to paint the outside corner. 2-1 on Mayberry. Redshirt senior from Philadelphia. Ball three up and away with first base open, but Jimmy Keenan lurking on deck. The 3-1, he challenges him with a fastball, and Mayberry is late. Foul ball, 3-2. Big pitch here with a runner on third and one out.
Really big pitch here. Now the infield's going to come in with 2 strikes.
The payoff to Mayberry. Lined and caught by Broadhurst, a race to third, a dive, he got him! Oh, what a reaction over there at third by Luke Broadhurst. And he doubles up Tucker on the line drive by Blake Mayberry. UConn gets out of the jam, nobody out, and a runner on third, but there is going to be a challenge by St. John's. It becomes a race to the base. The third base umpire, Jeffrey Arthur's right on it, and he bangs him out with no hesitation, but St. John's wants to challenge. So UConn had sprinted off the field defensively, but they're going to walk back out as the umpires talk it over.
Looks like they'll go underneath. And look at this play. That was a rocket off the bat of Mayberry. Not a lot of reaction time for both Luke Broadhurst and for Tucker over there at third. And we'll have to wait and see. Very close play, but again, Randy, we sound like a broken record, but call on the field is so important in these situations.
You have to have irrefutable evidence to overturn the call. And that means you have to have the right angle. Guys diving from opposite directions of the base can't block out the camera. And if it's a question of, well, maybe that replay shows he might have been back, that's not overwhelming evidence. This looks like we might get a pretty good angle.
Wow. That is as bang as you can get. And again, that's why the call on the field is so important. Third base umpire Jeffrey Arthur is right on top of it.
Broadhurst into the dive, getting the glove on the bag just about the same time that Tucker diving back in gets his hand.
This view, I don't think you can really tell very much. Unless they're trying to piece it together like we saw on Sunday for the Xavier final out. Trying to see when Luke touched the bag from the behind home plate camera and then looking at the timing from the third base camera.
Well, that first view we got was about as clear as a view you're going to see. And if you can't tell if it is that close, this is likely to stand. Let's have one more look at that excellent view. Great work by our production crew led by Noam Watt today. Great reaction by Broadhurst. When does
right there? Yeah, I think it's I don't know.
You can kind of see that the glove pops up as it hits the base. That gives you the indication of when he touches it. The umpire's review, and he is out. It's a double play on a line drive to the third baseman to get UConn out of the inning without giving up a run, despite St. John's getting a run around third and nobody out. UConn coming up against Kyle Chase.
We have the Aliens.
No score after half an inning thanks to a great reaction at third base by Luke Broadhurst, doubling up Jackson Tucker on a screaming line drive off the bat of Blake Mayberry. St. John's getting the leadoff triple from Tucker, but they can't push him across. Jake Studley leads off for UConn in right field. Brian Padilla bats second at second. Paul Tamero hitting third at shortstop. Corey Morton cleans up in left. Luke Broadhurst swinging it of late. Hitting fifth, playing third. Matt Garbowski batting sixth and catching. Matt Malcolm's in there tonight as the DH. And Maddox Delana red hot as well in the 8-hole. He's at first. Caleb Spur bats ninth in center field. Facing Kyle Chase, making just his fourth appearance of the season.
Kyle Chase, a guy they really like. He's coming back from injury, just his third appearance. He has one start. He's going to be on pitch count tonight. He's been very efficient in his 3 appearances. 5 innings, 2 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 7 Ks, as he is replacing Xavier Kohlhasser, their ace, who is out with injury. Already 7 wins this year for Kohlhasser.
Jake Studley swings at the first pitch and pops it up. The second baseman, Brienza, calls and catches. One down in the UConn first as Studley goes after the first one.
I mean, what a shift in momentum, Randy, in that top of the first. You think St. John's is getting at least one after the leadoff triple, and you're able to get strikeout and line out double play to put a 0 on the scoreboard.
Now Brian Padilla takes a strike. He homered, one of 4 UConn home runs on Wednesday, banging one off the light tower in left field on Wednesday afternoon. He jumps on one and shoots it deep to left. That ball short hops the wall. Garrett Scavelli plays it back in, but Padilla has a ringing double. And UConn has a runner in scoring position with 1 out.
6th two-bagger of the year for Bry. As you see on this pitch, able to drive it out into left center field. The wind should aid the ball out to left field today. It's been whipping out to left.
Paul Tamero with a chance, leading the team at 3:06. And he takes a breaking ball for his strike from the redshirt freshman who missed all of last season with Tommy John surgery. The 0-1 to Tamero, up and away. Kyle Chase was a star at St. John the Baptist. 3 times an All-NYSC HSA member. Pitcher of the year in 2021. Tamero with a bunt foul as he tries to hook it down the third baseline. 1-2.
That's got to be an old hat he's wearing, right? Like, that's gotten some wear and tear on it. It is, I love it. It's like a position player who's been sweating in that cap. Everyone else seems to have a nice red color on their hat, but get a look at it.
A little faded. 1-2 on Tamero. Too high. You don't see a lot of pitchers wearing number 0 either. Adam Ottavino comes to mind. Not too many others.
He is listed as a 2-way, right-handed pitcher and outfielder.
2-2 on Tamero. And he yanks one down the left field line. UConn will get the first run of the game. Tamero trades places with Padilla. Back-to-back doubles for Padilla and Tamero, both going to the left field wall. And it's 1-0 UConn.
You see this again for Paul, able to take a pitch high and then able to line that one down the left field line. Got too much of the plate. And UConn a good start here on the board early.
Now Corey Morton takes a breaking ball for a strike. That curveball had some good movement from Kyle Chase. Corey Morton, who loves first pitch fastballs, watches the bender go by. Back-to-back breaking balls. That one hits the outside corner, and it's 0-2. UConn looking to add to an early lead. That's in the turf. Tamero takes off. Jimmy Keenan throws him out. Beautifully blocked by the St. John's catcher, and he has a gun back there. Incredible numbers throwing runners out, attempting to steal. This one goes 2-5 on an attempt to advance.
I think if Paul had to do it again, maybe he doesn't do the swim move. He just...
Morton bounces it to third, and the throw from Mayberry pulls Aries off the bag. Corey Morton is safe. Any ground ball to third base is not routine when Corey Morton's getting down the line. A record holder in track and field here in the state of Connecticut. Sprinter speed coming out of the box, and he is safe to extend the inning. Mayberry's throw is on. They probably get Corey. And he knew he had a rush, and that'll give Luke Broadhurst a chance. And he has been smoking the ball of late. Ball 1 to Broadhurst, whose average and production overall is really climbing. Up to 282 on the year now with 6 home runs and 23 runs batted in. There goes Morton. He's going to test Keenan, who sails the throw into center field, and Morton will stay put. Backed up by the center fielder, Tucker.
And now the ball's going to get away over by third base. As Coach Penders thinks there was a little bit of obstruction at second base with Corey trying to get to third.
Something funky happened there.
I think the players on the field have got to get used to the wet turf because we've already seen some guys slide past the bag here early on. And now they're going to talk about it. So Corey, I think, slid into the base, past it, and then when he got up to go to third, may have run to the shortstop, as that's Luke Orban. So we've got the base there.
Well, the shortstop is trying to tag him without the baseball, and he does just kind of like get in his way there.
And
what is that?
And Corey, if Corey knew that he didn't have the ball, he could have gone directly to third, but since he thought the second baseman had it, that was Brienza who was pretending to have the ball.
You can pretend to have the ball, but you can't get in his way and make contact with him.
I don't think that's a reviewable play, and the umpires decide they're not going to change it out on the field. It is a stolen base, though, for Court.
And he's in scoring position for Broadhurst. 3-0 on Big Luke, who's seeing it like a beach ball right now. And would you green light him here? Now, I think
you might.
Yeah. 3-0. Oh, he sure did.
Yeah.
Big rip and a miss. 3-1.
He's trying to hit that to Gamble Pavilion.
No, don't get cheated on your 3-0 swings. 3-1. He's still in the driver's seat. Here it is. Hit a mile high into center field. Tucker waits for it. And that is out number 3. Well, an interesting first inning. St. John's got the runner on third with nobody out, didn't score. UConn gets back-to-back doubles by Padilla and Tamero, and they've got a 1-0 lead through 1.
Fans, make sure to check out Jefferson Park, looking at the end of Lord.
One nothing UConn through 1. Gabe Van Emmen pitching with the lead, facing Jimmy Keenan. Way up and away to the slugging catcher, who leads St. John's with 6 home runs. A .376 average for Keenan, and the team leader with 34 RBI. Breaking ball outside.
I mean, he's been so impressive behind the plate. Coming in 14 guys thrown out in 21 attempts. Already 1 for 2 tonight as Gabe pumps in a strike.
Working him carefully, hitting the outside corner. 6 home runs leads the team. This is a St. John's team that's having a lot of success without the long ball. Just 22 home runs for St. John's. It's been more of a keep the line moving season for the Johnnies.
Big doubles team. 75 two-baggers on the year.
A big cut and a miss by Keenan, who swings hard on every swing.
They've already played 15 home games, so I got to think not warm temperatures that they've played in at home. Those balls, maybe some of those fly out as you go later in the season in Queens.
I'll tell you, I called the New Britain Bees in the summer. I saw Jimmy Keenan hit some tape measure shots at New Britain Stadium last summer, including a walk-off home run on a Saturday night. When he gets a hold of it, it goes a long way. The 3-2 hit up in the air, foul territory, and out of play as Telena gives it a look. There's a few New Britain Bees on this St. John's team, including Garrett Scavelli, who's in left field tonight. Aiden Kohal, who's an all-star in the Futures League last summer.
Got a good crowd on hand here Friday night after the rain.
Good to be under the lights for a meaningful game in the Big East on a Friday night at big-time college baseball field. Keenan takes ball 4. Van Emmen misses up and out of the zone. Good take by Keenan.
Yeah, that's up. Good take there. Keenan, his 13th walk of the season.
Here's Luke Orban, the shortstop. Looks at ball 1.
Just like Xavier, St. John's is trotting out a lineup that has only one lefty in the order. And this is it.
A left-handed hitting middle infielder.
And this is good for Garbowski to kind of slow things down. We've seen Gabe when he's not throwing strikes. He kind of speeds himself up because he works so quickly. And Garbowski, his years under his belt for the junior, now trying to slow him down, slow that heartbeat down with a 1-0 lead. Gabe already used to pitching with traffic this game. A leadoff triple in the first, now a leadoff walk here in the second.
Orban takes a strike on a get-me-over fastball. He had a very good season as a sophomore last year for St. John's, hitting .341. Ball 3 fades low and away. 3-1. And that one just missed for ball 4, and it's back-to-back walks by Van Emmen after getting the lead. 2 on and nobody out. So Luke keeps the line moving for his brother Paul Orban, the DH tonight.
Yeah, we've talked about it all season. When a pitcher gets runs on the board and then immediately gives up freebies out on the mound. Back-to-back walks here to start this top of the second.
Paul and Luke, college baseball players like their dad, Paul, who played at Columbia. The 0-1, a swing and a miss. Paul Orban down in the count, 0-2. Orbans are from New Hyde Park, New York. The 0-2 bounces, blocked by Garbowski to keep the runners put. Van Emmen flirted with danger in the first. He's doing so again here in the second. Tucker tripled to lead off. And Blake Mayberry lined into the double play thanks to the great catch and dive by Broadhurst. Van Emmen comes back with a 3-pitch strikeout. That wipeout slider down and into the right-handed hitting Orban is his second strikeout.
Yeah, not as good as the one he threw in the first inning, but able to get the job done. Still works. That's a nasty pitch. It was in the zone for about 90% of the way. Then took a sharp right turn.
Now the first baseman, Aries Samick, looks at ball 1. Van Emmen getting the ball here under the lights on Friday night. As UConn is looking for that Friday starter they can rely upon every weekend. Backdoor curve in there for strike 1.
St. John's offense has only grounded into 13 double plays this year.
The 1-1. Hit the other way, hard and through. A base hit into right field. Studley up with it. Keenan is held up at third. And the bases are loaded for the Johnnies. Third base coach John Valenti, a great player at St. John's. Coaches third for the Red Storm, and with one out, he's taking no chance, especially with his catcher Keenan, the lead runner.
Good job for Jake to get that ball in quickly. Force them to hold Keenan at third. Still have the double play in order here.
Garrett Scavelli takes outside. Scavelli, the 8 hitter, at .298 on the year with a couple of home runs and 20 runs batted in. The foul tips it at home plate, 1-1.
Got double play depth up the middle. You got Maddox back at first. Luke is a step behind the bag at third.
Scavelli, a transfer from Malloy. Down and in, and that one gets away from Garbowski. It comes back to him hot, but no play at home as it bounces off the brick wall. Van Emmen covering, couldn't get there in time. Keenan scores, and the game is tied on a wild pitch.
Yeah, the theme of this inning's just been wildness for Gabe. This one, Garbo couldn't block. He really had to try and slide over to get in front of it. And again, those 2 walks to open the inning. One of them has come across to score.
And pitch a ball, of course, to Scavelli, now hitting with 2 in scoring position and 1 out. And the count in his favor. Inside and low again. 3-1. And here's Josh McDonald out of the UConn dugout for a visit with Van Emmen.
Yeah, Gabe just hasn't looked like himself these last couple outings. I think the most frustrating thing, the difference from his last start was he was just getting hit around the yard, right, Randy? There was base hit after base hit. This time he's given up base runners as Ian Cook will start to get loose in that UConn pen. And that's the most frustrating thing, right? After you get a run on the board, you come back out looking for a shutdown inning, and you go walk, walk. And now you have the potential double play in order, and you spike one in the turf, and it leads to a run.
There's a lot that's been frustrating for UConn in game 1 of these weekend series. It hasn't gone well for them.
Yeah, have not won a series opener this year, and haven't won a Friday or opening game since way back on opening weekend in that USF baseball tournament. And that's tough, right? When you lose game 1 of a weekend to have to be able to win the next 2 in order to grab a series. Putting yourself behind the 8 ball.
3-1 now on Scavelli. And he takes low. Well, bat flip on the walk to load him up. The 3rd walk of the inning issued by Van Emmen. And with Cook out there, and he pitched very well the last time we saw him, you get the feeling this may be a short hook. The number 9 hitter, Anthony Brienza, with the bases loaded, takes ball 1. Brienza at .307 this year with 1 home run and 4 triples. Ball 2.
Yeah, and he's not even close right now. Missing way off the plate. Unfortunately, Cook just got up, so I don't know how long it will take him to get warm.
The 2-0 pitch in there for strike 1. Bases full, 1 out, and ball 3 is way outside. No place to put him here, and a great spot for Brienza. Bags full and a 3-1 pitch coming. Ball 4 to force in a run and give St. John's a 2-1 lead on the 4th walk of the inning issued by Van Emmen.
Yeah, I can't imagine Gabe's going to stay in this game too long, especially the way your defense is playing. Let them put the ball in play. If they get their hits, they get their hits. But just freebie after freebie. Just putting free base runners out there as Garbowski will go to the mound. Looks like, yep, Cook's saying he's ready. And that's going to do it for Gabe. Another disappointing start for him on a Friday.
A lot of ball game left, but St. John's now with the lead behind 4 walks this inning. Along with an Aries Samick base hit. A wild pitch as well. And Ian Cook comes on. First man out of the bullpen with a long way to go. 1 out. Top of the second. 2 in for the Johnnies. And a 2-1 lead for St. John's. Looking for more with the bases loaded, and Cook looking to settle things down for the hook C.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. Now pitching for the Louisville Huskies, number 22, Ian Cook. Cook now pitching for UConn.
St. John's. They've got the bases loaded, the top of their order coming up. 2 runs in already. And Ian Cook is out of the bullpen, looking to settle this thing down for UConn.
You look at Cook's numbers this year. 9 appearances, 3 starts. 1-1 with a 6.14 earned run average. 22 innings, 20 hits, 15 earned runs. He's walked 13 and struck out 29 as he's coming off a really good outing last Friday against Xavier out of the pen. 5 1/3, 4 hits, no runs, 2 walks, and 9 strikeouts. That was a season high for Cookie.
Similar situation last week where he comes on early in the game, earlier than last week against Xavier. And he was lights out, scattering 4 hits, no runs in 5 1/3 innings against Xavier with 9 strikeouts, as you said. And this may be an opportunity for Ian Cook, who was the Big East preseason pitcher of the year last year, to maybe take hold of that Friday starting role. Tucker takes a strike.
That's a good start. He had that slider his last appearance. But you're absolutely right, Randy, the way Gabe has thrown the last couple weeks. If Cook is able to throw the ball well tonight, maybe he slides into the rotation.
Tucker bounces it foul. Out in front of the slider. He tripled off the right field wall to lead off the game and was doubled up on the line drive by Blake Mayberry to Luke Broadhurst. Bang, bang play. Both players diving for the bag. That got Van Emmen out of trouble in the first, but couldn't wiggle out of it here in the second. 0-2 on Tucker. A high chopper to third. It's going to bound over Broadhurst and go into left field. Samick and Scavelli both score. Brienza goes to third, and Tucker has got a double and 2 RBI to make it 4-1 St. John's. He got his ground ball, but off the turf, it took the big high bounce over Broadhurst, who was playing in.
Yeah, I think Luke had to do it again. He would have backed up on that ball. He just misread it. If he had gone back on that ball, they're probably able to get an out. Not going to get a double play.
Now a 3-run lead for St. John's, and the infield has to come in for Connecticut as Ben Beauchamp fouls it away. He struck out swinging against Van Emmen. The 0-1 stays inside. Beauchamp hanging in there. Ball 1. Infield in. 4 on the board for St. John's here in the top of the second. The 1-1 from Ian Cook. Swing and a miss. Back to the slider, and it's 1-2. Been living on that slider. The 1-2. He struck him out. Garbowski blocks it, looks the runner back to third, and completes the play with a throw to first to get Beauchamp, who strikes out for the second time. A big K there. Now the infield can move back and take a little pressure off the defense. But you got Blake Mayberry coming up, hitting .422.
And you got Jimmy Keenan on deck. So even with first base open, it's not like you can put him on and have anyone easier behind him.
Cook's first pitch to Mayberry is bounced to short. Tamero makes the play and ends the inning, and Cook comes on and does the job. You got a bat bounce double by Tucker. The 4 walks cost Van Emmen 4 runs crossed for St. John's. And it's a 3-run lead for the Johnnies as we go to the bottom of the second.
First team, all big boost. Barrington, Rhode Island. Plays the outfield. Jake Studley.
.4-1 St. John's leads it at beautiful Elliott Ballpark on this cool but pleasant Friday evening in April in Storrs, Connecticut. Glad to be with you for the opener of a 3-game weekend series in the Big East. Kyle Chase takes the mound here in the second with a lead after giving up a run in the first on back-to-back doubles by Brian Padilla and Paul Tamero. He faces Matt Garbowski, Matt Malcolm, and Maddox Delana. Garbowski greets him with a first pitch swing and a base hit into right field. Leadoff man on for UConn. Garbowski continues to have a solid season. That base hit will take him over 280. And it will give Matt Malcolm a chance with a runner on base.
Jumping all over that first pitch. Able to dunk it in there. Leadoff base runner. And again, you give up the 4 runs, you're trailing, but you got plenty of ball game to work your way back. Hopefully Ian Cook will be able to settle things down.
Malcolm gets a hard ground ball foul on a curve. He's been sort of splitting time with Tyler Minnick. Malcolm gets the call today, hitting .233, 5 home runs and 12 RBI for the transfer from Eastern Connecticut State University. He was a major factor on a Division III College World Championship team.
He's coming off a 3-hit game with 3 driven in against Maine on Wednesday.
Curveball outside from Chase. 1-1 on Malcolm. Fouled on another curve. Malcolm tried to sit on it, but got on top of it. And it's 1-2. Too high with a waist fastball. Remember, Chase again, sort of making a spot start here with the ace for St. John's unavailable.
Yeah, you look at Kohlhasser's numbers this year. They've been brilliant. Talk about it in just a bit.
The 2-2's on the outside corner. Malcolm thought it was outside. Called strike 3.
Kohlhasser this year, 8 starts, 7-1 with a 3.55 earned run average and 45 2/3, 19 walks to 29 strikeouts. He threw the ball really well against the Huskies last year in Queens.
Chase gets that call. That's a good 2-strike pitch. Maybe too close to take from Malcolm. It might have been off the plate, but can't leave it to chance. Maddox Delana swings and misses at a changeup, and it's 0-1.
This guy's been locked in recently. Last 6 games, 4 homers, 10 driven in.
And a couple of his home runs have been Titan blasts. Man, he took it up, way up onto the right field berm twice last week. Well, once against Xavier. And then once again against Maine on Wednesday. No doubt about it, shots. Ball 1 misses high. He also homered going with a pitch over the left field wall against Xavier last weekend. Had some success going the other way into the opposite field power alley. The 1-2, that's crushed. Deep right field, there goes another for Maddox Delano, way out of here. A loud 2-run home run for Maddox Delana. Another home run. He's on some tear now. And it's a 1-run ball game for 3 St. John's as UConn cuts it to 1 on the 7th home run of the season for Delana.
This is the Maddox Delana we saw all fall and all preseason. It just took a little bit of time for him to get heated up. His 5th home run in the last 7 games, and that's how you respond after the 4-run top half of the inning.
Pardon me, that's home run number 6 on the year for Delana, but 5 in the last 7, as Jonesy says. And that one again, another screaming drive that clears the right field wall by plenty. Caleb Spur, the center fielder, batting 9th and taking ball 1. Now ball 2. He's been like a double leadoff in the 9th spot, riding a 9-game on base streak coming into today. Spur pops it up. Mayberry has room, but it's the shortstop Orban who calls him off. 2 down in the UConn second.
Right fielder,
Jake Studley hits with 2 outs and nobody on. Back to the top of the order. Studley popped to second on the first pitch of the first. Ball 1 is high. His average steadily climbing during this run for UConn. Winners of 5 of the last 6. A curve in there for a strike. 1-1. Kyle Chase goes right after Studley. The fastball runs inside and he fouls it off. 1-2 now on Studley. 4-3 St. John's leads it here in the bottom of the second. And the 1-2, a curveball drops in at the top of the zone for strike 3. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Kyle Chase. But he surrenders a 2-run home run to Maddox Delana, who is locked in right now. And it's a 1-run ball game as we go to the third. 4-3, St. John's leads UConn. Delana bringing the Huskies within 1.
UConn DSP for a chance to win. We'll announce that winner at the end of the 5th inning. Once again, right now, host your location. in tag at UConn. The
Four 3, St. John's leads UConn. Maddox Delana, with his 6th home run of the year, cuts it to a 1-run game. In the bottom of the second. Top of the third, it's Blake Mayberry to lead it off. Or Jimmy Keenan, excuse me. Keenan swings and misses. He walked and scored in the second.
Already trading punches in this one early.
Keenan with a 94-mile-an-hour fastball just off the plate. So a steady diet of sliders. And he mixes in the heater. They've got Keenan played to pull. Another fastball, this time on the outside edge for strike 2.
And maybe this lineup will play favorably to Cook with 8 of the 9 batters right-handed.
The 1-2, he gets him on a slider.
I mean, that's the pitch that has given him so much success. When he's going well, if that slider is going, he's going. As you get another look at it here. Tough pitch there for Keenan.
Especially following up 2 straight fastballs on the outside corner. A strike in there to Luke Orban, who walked and scored in the second. Chopped against the shift. Tamero with a tough play. He got him. Nicely done by Paul Tamero, who is shaded towards the right field side of second. Had to go across his body to throw that ball to first, and he got a lot of zip on it.
And this is what Cook's doing well right now, throwing strikes. Put the ball in play here, let your defense help you out. The UConn defense has been really good here of late during this stretch.
Taking a stretch. Good stretch over there by Delana as well. Paul Orban takes a bunt back. It's strike 1. He struck out swinging his first time, and he could not hold up on another slider, and it's 0-2. Ian Cook looking for the clean frame. The 0-2. He spikes it.
Overthrew that one a little bit. It's all right. Waste pitch.
Still way up in the count here, 1-2. And he freezes him on the breaking ball that catches the outside corner. A 1-2-3 inning for Cook with 2 strikeouts. Bottom of the third coming. Good ball game early on between St. John's and UConn. 4-3, the Red Storm lead the Huskies. St. John's with the lead 4-3 as Brian Padilla leads it off for UConn in the third. Paul Tamero and Corey Morton to follow. 2, 3, and 4 for UConn against Kyle Chase, making the spot start. And he's given up 3 runs through 2 innings, including 3 extra base hits and 4 hits total. One of them by Brian Padilla, who doubled to the left field wall his first time and scored UConn's first run. And he's ahead of the count 1-0. Chase drops a curveball in for strike 1. The second baseman Brienza shading Padilla to pull. And he does hit it right into the shift. To Orban, who bounces the throw. Out of play, and he's 6 on a routine ground ball to short. And instead of 1 out, nobody on, it's nobody out and a runner in scoring position. The tying run for UConn as Padilla gets the gift.
6th error of the year. Had plenty of time, just threw a 2-seamer over there. And could not pick it over at first. And a runner in scoring position just like that for the Huskies. That's tough if you're Chase. You made your pitch.
Paul Tamero doubled hard to left field. His first time, he squares to bunt and takes a breaking ball low.
Especially when you have a youngster on the hill like Chase. You want to make the plays out in the field. When he makes his pitch, you want to be able to help him out.
Third baseman Mayberry in to guard against the bunt. And Tamero bunts it back towards the pitcher. Chase makes the play, and Tamero's out. Chris Podeswa arguing that the first baseman, Ari Samick, juggled the throw. And Federico de Jesus isn't buying it. It is a successful sac bunt for Tamero. We'll have another look at the throw to first.
Nope, that looks clean. At least on first look. Bry did a really nice job, and now I think they're going to look at it. Bry, a great jump where Chase didn't even think about third because of how good of a secondary lead he got. So I guess they're going to look at it. It looks like Samick made the play over
seen all they need, and Tamero is out. But he's moved the runner over.
And visit to the mound here.
There is activity in the St. John's bullpen.
Chase is at 39 pitches, 25 of them strikes so far. This delay has allowed the lefty to get loose out there.
Luis Marinero warming up in the St. John's bullpen. The St. John's bullpen, well, I'm sure they were starters when they were there, but a couple of really good lefties have come from the St. John's program. Of course, Sweet Music, Frank Viola, and John Franco. Longtime great closer of the New York Mets. A lot of really good alumni come through the St. John's program. Matt Caracity, who's a Connecticut kid from Berlin.
Joe Panic.
That's right. C.J. Nitkowski. Rich Aurelia, among some of the household major league names who played for St. John's. Here is Corey Morton, the cleanup hitter for UConn. Corners in, middle back. Morton reached on an error. St. John's has committed 2 on the infield. Morton chases a curveball for strike 1.
Last time out against Villanova, Chase 51 pitches in his 3 innings of work. That was pitch number 40.
Morton lays off.
I gotta think he's gonna get a steady dose of breaking balls. Infield's gonna play back up the middle, so ground ball could tie it that way.
One and one. Swing and a miss. At a bit of a hanger. Looked like Chase might have gotten away with one there, up in the zone. Morton has not seen a fastball yet. He gets another curve, and he drives it out of here, way back into left field, over the Matt Barnes bullpen for a go-ahead 2-run home run. UConn leads it 5-4. That one also a hanger, and that time Morton didn't miss.
This is a guy that's been hot for most of the season, but been in a funk lately. But he unloads here, gets the hanger, and he destroys this to left field. His first home run since that multi-homer game out at Cal Baptist. UConn reclaims the lead.
Luke Broadhurst takes a breaking ball for a strike. Broadhurst flew to center his first time. 2 home runs in this game for UConn, both 2-run home runs. All of a sudden, the ball is flying out of the yard for the UConn Huskies. 4 home runs on Wednesday, 2 tonight, and we're only in the 3rd. Broadhurst had 1 of them on Wednesday, and he's ahead 2-1. Another breaking ball, and Broadhurst swings and misses. UConn with a 5-4 lead behind a 2-run home run by Corey Morton. The 2-2. Broadhurst goes back-to-back, launching one, almost the same spot Corey Morton hit his, over the bullpen. The 3rd home run for UConn, and a 6-4 lead for the Huskies.
None of these have been cheapies for the Huskies. The bats, as we mentioned, able to do it in the midweek, but it's something else when you're able to do it on the weekend. Off to a good start here in the early going.
And Luke Broadhurst is hitting it not only out of the yard, but to all fields. That time pulling a shot. For Broadhurst, home run number 7 to lead the team. Matt Garbowski wants to take first base, but the home plate umpire, Timothy Carey, says, I don't know if that hit your foot. And the three umpires are going to get together. Garbowski started walking there. Looked like Timothy Carey was looking down at his clicker or something here. And the base umpires say, we don't have the angle. Let's see. Does Garbo get hit by it? It looked like it might have caught the back foot, the toe, the way it bounced. Looked like it caught him on the toe, but no argument. 1-1 on Garbowski. He's on board anyways for the ground ball base hit up the middle. Off the glove of the diving Brienza. A hit's better than being hit by a pitch, right? You take the knock any day of the week.
He'll take the 2 for 2 over the 1 for 1 with a hit by pitch. That's a great effort from Brienza going up the middle, trying to keep it on the infield.
Mike Hampton is still rolling with Kyle Chase. Here's Matt Malcolm, ball 1. So the error for St. John's by their shortstop Orban kind of opened the floodgates here for UConn.
And again, yeah, we mentioned that at the start of this inning. Chase is able to make his pitch, and boy, you get that first out, you have to have a feel that Chase is going to have an entirely different frame here in the third.
3-0 as Malcolm takes high. After the error, a little small ball by UConn. Tamero bunting over Padilla, then some long ball. Back-to-back homers by Corey Morton and Luke Broadhurst. A base hit by Matt Garbowski, and a 3-0 count to Malcolm. And now ball 4. Here comes Maddox Delana. And the lefty's got to be loose out there for St. John's.
Yeah, Chase is at 54 pitches. Looks like Mike Hampton's coming up the steps.
There he is, the head coach in his 5th season as the head coach of St. John's after 18 years as the hitting coach and recruiting coordinator. And with UConn leading 6-4, Maddox Delana coming to the plate already with a 2-run home run and 5 home runs over his last 7 games. St. John's is going to the bullpen to bring in the left-hander, Luis Marinero. 6-4, UConn leads it. Morton and Broadhurst with back-to-back blasts to give Connecticut the 2-run lead. The sun's setting on Elliott Ballpark for this first Friday night baseball game of the year, and the ball is flying out of the yard. UConn with 3 home runs off the starting pitcher Kyle Chase to chase him from the game and bring on Luis Marinero as the first pitcher out of the pen for St. John's.
Yeah, you look at his numbers so far this year. 15th appearance, 3-2 with a 3.52 earned average, 23 innings pitched, 15 hits, 9 runs. He's walked just 8 and struck out 30. Opponents just hitting a measly 183 against him.
The Huskies using the big fly again. 4 on Wednesday against Maine, 3 already here against St. John's, including back-to-back shots here this inning by Morton and Broadhurst. Nothing cheap about them. No doubt about it, shots on all 3 home runs, including Maddox Delena's 2-run shot way up onto the berm in right field his last time up in the second. And here is Delena to face Marinero with 2 on and 1 out. First pitch to Delena right in there. He takes a strike.
Marinero did pitch against the Huskies last year. 1 appearance, inning and 2/3, 3 hits, 2 runs, both earned. He walked 1, struck out 2. Gave up a home run to Ben Hubert.
Check swing on a high fastball. Delena holds up. One ball, 1 strike on Delena. And another rip and a miss, 1 and 2.
This is where Maddox has been improved. The 2 strike counts over the course of the last few weeks.
A 1-2.
That's
very close.
Yeah, not sure where. Maybe a little bit up. Maddox, I think it was a 2-2 pitch that he took out in that first at bat.
Now the 2-2 from Marinero. And he gets him. And you see how he kind of delayed on the mound there, came set, and that's good pitching by Marinero. Kind of altering his looks. And he gets Delena on the strikeout.
Yeah, tough left on left there for Maddox. Getting another look at it here from the left-hander. Able to elevate.
2 outs for Caleb Spur. 3 runs in the inning for UConn, looking for more. Strike 1 on the outside corner to Spur. Trying to get on base for the 10th straight game. He popped his shortstop his first time. Caleb Spur with a healthy hack. 0-2. Matt Garbowski in scoring position. Spur looking to keep the line moving after the walk by Malcolm. And Spur fouls it away.
Again, important to get into the bullpen early in game 1 of a series. UConn did not do that last weekend. Luke Hoskins went 7 shutout before they finally dipped into that bullpen.
Ooh, Spur got hit by the pitch. On an 0-2 pitch. He'll take that.
He's had a bunch of those lately.
Marinero trying to come high and tight.
That's the 5th hit by pitch he's had in the last 6 games.
Well, he may have some bruises, but his on-base percentage.
Especially 0-2. You'll take that 0-2.
Oh, yeah. You know, you referenced last week the video that the UConn team watched about trying to hang in there on inside pitches. And that has been paying off. So the base is loaded for Jake Studley. Swing and a miss. Like UConn is swinging the bat aggressively, even on their swings and misses. Swinging like they mean it.
9th batter to hit this frame.
Studley's 0 for 2. Fouled away. And now the count goes to 0-2. Bases full of Huskies for Jake Studley.
If he could get a hit here, it'd be a huge lift for his confidence. Runners in scoring position.
The 0-2 is hit hard to third. Juggled by Mayberry. Throw to first. Pulls the first baseman, Samick, off the bag. Another error for St. John's. And another run is in for UConn.
Yeah, just bobbled it over there. And then had to rush the throw to first. As you get another look at it here. Feet around the bag. Yep, had to come off.
Third error of the game by the St. John's infield. And the second error by Mayberry. The second error of the inning for the Johnnies. Brian Padilla led it off by reaching on an error by the shortstop.
And they came in fielding a .977, really good percentage. 24 errors entering tonight.
7-4 UConn now, and Padilla is ahead of the count 1-0. Padilla with 2 runs scored, but looking to be an RBI guy here. Fouled to the screen. 0-2 again.
He's
He's
gotten ahead in the counts. Just he got Delana swinging, then the hit by pitch 0-2 to spur, and then gets his ground ball, but Mayberry throws it away.
Padilla lifts a fly ball out to center field. Tucker has room. Shy of the track to make the catch and squeeze the final out of the inning. But UConn does damage. Back-to-back home runs by Morton and Broadhurst, part of a 4-run inning for UConn, now leading 7-4. (7-4) UConn. They've hit 3 home runs and taken advantage of 3 St. John's errors. Ian Cook pitching with a 3-run lead. And here with the play-by-play, my buddy in the booth, Chris Jones.
Thank you, Randy. Aries Samick up to the dish against Ian Cook. Misfire up and in. Here's Cookie, an inning and 2/3. 1 hit, no runs, no walks, 3 Ks. As he fires just off the plate, 2-0.
This is where, if you're the UConn coaching staff and you're looking for that guy you can go to on Friday night, you want to see Ian Cook take this 3-run lead and pound the zone.
As he pumps in a strike. First time pitching with the lead. Came in with the Huskies trailing 2-1. Gave up that chopper that went over the head of Luke Broadhurst. This pitch swung on line to Maddox at first. He has it for a loud out number 1. And then last inning, after Maddox Delana hit the 2-run homer to get it to a 1-run ball game, Cook went quickly 1-2-3 with a couple strikeouts. Get another look at this rocket. Maddox is there. First pitch, swung on, fouled back. pitch number 23 for Cook. And again, could be auditioning for a potential weekend role next weekend at Georgetown. It's been a nice 3.5 weeks at home. It's a rarity in the college baseball season for a Northeast team. The 0-1. Good breaking ball. Plops in there for called strike 2.
I remember looking at the schedule when it first came out. I got ready to do games with you. I said, well, I'm be looking forward to the month of April, and that's about it.
0-2, low and away.
Of course, they do the home games with you, Jonesy. Jonesy goes everywhere with UConn Baseball and does the audio call as well as so much more for the program. So he travels along, but the majority of UConn's home games here in the month of April.
1-2 into the turf. 2 balls, 2 strikes, the count. No one on, 1 out, top of the 4th. 7-4 Huskies. They've scored 1 in the first, they've scored 2 in the second, and then 4 in the third. Ian Cook, 2-2. Swung on, line to right center. Spur is there, goes to the dive, able to secure it for out number 2. Boy, he can cover some ground, Randy. Seen that over the course of the last few games.
Yeah, he made a terrific catch against Maine. He had to go a lot longer in that Maine game, but this is a solid catch on a line drive. And he goes into the dive. He might not have had to totally need to, but when you kind of commit to, I'm going to go get this no matter what, and it's in your mind, sometimes you're better off to squeeze it and then tumble. And he made a very nice play there.
That was almost like he was trying to get the angle, and then his momentum carried him forward into the dive. Brienza, an 0-1. Misfire outside with a heater at 93.
On the flip side, St. John's with 3 errors, including 2 last half inning. This half inning, they hit 2 balls hard, and UConn is making all the plays.
1-1. Swung on, fouled straight back.
And UConn has been making all the plays during this stretch, winners of 5 of 6. Playing clean defense and also making some exceptional plays out there, taking hits away in their successful streak.
Ian Cook, a 1-2. Breaking ball, swung on, fouled off. And that's probably where the frustration is with Gabe tonight, where you walk 4 in that inning. Your defense has been playing so good. I know you're trying to shy away from contact, but let them put the ball in play. Good things have been happening with your defense. There's no one on, 2 outs. Ian Cook looking to get through the 4th. 1-2. Breaking ball just missed over that outside edge.
UConn wanted the call, but we have a great vantage point here in the booth. And that did look to be about a half a foot off the plate.
2-2. A flinch from the home plate umpire. He thought about it. But now a full count pitch upcoming.
If the pitch prior was a half a foot off the plate, that was about a quarter of a foot off the plate. Maybe this one will be right on the corner then on 3-2.
Payoff pitch coming from Cookie. It's swung on, popped in the air to right. Jake Studley ranging in. He'll camp underneath it and makes the grab for the final out of the inning. It's a 1-2-3 frame for Cook. A shutdown inning for Cookie. And we'll go to the bottom of the 4th. UConn, a 7-4 advantage here on Flow Sports. Beautiful evening here in Stores. The rain is gone. Nice sunset off to our left. So UConn a 3-run advantage here in this series opener. 3, 4, and 5 as Tamero squares, pulls back and takes ball 1.
And should be good parade weather tomorrow in Hartford, too.
Both of us will be here in Stores. I think 11 a.m. parade. 2:05 p.m. first pitch as Paul up in the count 2-0. RBI double back in the first for Paulie. Sacrifice bunt his last time up. Cannot hold up. It's 2-1. We'll get you some scores from around the Big East a little bit later on. You know, Creighton and Xavier were suspended midway through with a storm that came through in Cincinnati as Tamero swings and smacks one back to the backstop. Georgetown and Butler are already postponed today because of weather as well. I think Villanova-Seton Hall may be the only other game going on in conference. Second weekend of conference play for everyone except for Georgetown and Villanova. 2-2. Swung on, fought off foul. They'll do it again. And if you don't know, aren't privy to it, Georgetown and Villanova always play a week earlier, as they do not play on graduation weekend right around finals time. It's 2-2. It's low, and Paul has worked it full. Next year, UConn will play a week earlier. They have the bye week, the last week of the regular season. So them and Xavier will play out in Cincinnati that first week as Tamero swings and pops it up. Shallow center, second baseman Brienza's out, and he handles it for out number 1. That last weekend was supposed to be a home series against Oklahoma State, but unfortunately, conference realignment got in the way, and the Big 12 added, and now their conference schedule has shifted. So instead, UConn will play Maine to finish out their 2025 campaign. And here's Corey Morton, unloaded on a 2-run homer his last time. So he takes off speed low, 1-0. For Core, that was his 5th home run of the year, and he's up to 22 driven in. A 1-0. Sails high, it's 2-0. More activity in that St. John's pen, a right-hander getting loose. Kick and a 2-0. Swing and a foul tip. It's 2-1. St. John's got off to a really good start. They've been winning all year long, but they went to Gainesville and swept the series, a 1-gamer.
Yeah,
on opening night.
It's a sweep. 3 were scheduled, 1 was played. St. John's won it.
2-1 at the knees for called strike 2. Won a series at Sam Houston, which Husky fans know if you followed UConn. Played a couple series in Huntsville. That is a tough place to play. Kick in a 2-2. Swung on, fought off foul. Last time we were in Huntsville, I'm sorry, Randy, but we saw Colton Cowser, who is a Sam Houston product, and unfortunately he did some damage to your Red Sox the last few days.
He did, but that's all right. He comes through the Orioles system. My boy Berto Mercado managed him, so I find myself rooting for him. The Red Sox did damage to themselves, kind of the way St. John's has hurt themselves tonight, kicking the ball around in the infield.
3-2 count here to Corey Morton. Nobody on, 1 out in the 4th. The pitch. Swung on, fought off foul.
You know, the St. John's team also, they didn't win the series, but won a game against Houston. So that's a solid win. Very tough beginning of the schedule, and then they did take on Texas and lost in Austin. And after that Sam Houston series, they pretty much stayed in the New York area.
3-2, swung on, popped up towards short. Shortstop there, he'll handle it. Orban for out number 2. Yeah, they've taken care of business. Swept a series against Hofstra, swept a series against Ryder, swept a series against Fordham, or excuse me, 1-2 out of 3 against Fordham.
That was the last time they lost, was to the Fordham Rams.
The Fighting Elliot Glynns, former UConn Husky, assistant coach for Fordham. Here's Luke. He swings, hits a chopper just wide of third, foul. 0-1.
And there's bragging rights and recruiting elements to playing the other New York schools and recruiting talent, keeping it in New York. And as you said, wins against Iona, Hofstra, a doubleheader sweep, a series sweep against Hofstra, LIU, Stony Brook, a one-run win.
It's a swing and a miss. 0-2 here to Luke. He homered his last time up. Followed Corey Morton back-to-back.
Beat Manhattan and Wagner also this year.
No one on, 2 outs. 0-2, sails high. Well, Marinaro's already thrown 33 pitches. UConn's made him work out of that Johnny's bullpen. A 1-2, nearly hit him as Luke able to skip out of the way. That one out in front of the right-handed batter's box.
Yeah, Corey Morton might have popped a shortstop, but he made him work for it, and that's the game within the game in a 3-game weekend series.
The wind, the 2-2. Just outside, maybe a little bit up as well. And Luke has worked it full. 7 runs on 7 hits tonight for UConn as we work in the 4th. A payoff pitch. Swung on, ripped to short. Nice pickup by Orban. His throw is going to get past, and Luke's going to try for second. It's going to be another error on the shortstop on the throw, and UConn has a runner in scoring position here with 2 away.
Yeah, fielding the ball hasn't been Orban's problem, and he did the tough part here. This is a one-hop smash. He makes a very nice play, in fact, on that in-between hop, but then does not set, rushes the throw, and skips it. The 4th error by the infield for St. John's tonight, and it extends the inning for Garbowski. 2nd error by Luke Orban.
So here's Garbo. 2 for 2 today. First time facing a left-hander. First pitch. Just missed. Not sure where. It's 1-0. At St. John's dugout, giving it to Timothy Carey back there. A stretch, a 1-0. Swung on, fouled straight back by Garbowski. Just shy of 300 now, Randy, at 295. The pitch. Lays off. They appeal, did not go. Tough for the umpire who's now stationed behind the mound. Just a 3-man crew, so no one down that third baseline. St. John's trying to get back to the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2018. This pitch misses up and away. This is a team that's used to going to the tournament. 37 appearances. That's tied for 10th all time. Had quite a run where they went in 04, 05, 07, 08, 2010, 2011, 2012, 2015, 2017, 2018. It's a swing and a foul tip. It'll be a full count pitch upcoming.
It's a rich history. I've heard so many times about that legendary game between Frank Viola and Ron Darling, St. John's and Yale going 18 innings, 1-0 game.
Here comes another payoff pitch. Swung on, popped in the air to left. As this one settling underneath and making the play is Scavelli for the final out of the inning. So UConn threatens after the error, but a 0 on the scoreboard for Marinaro. We go to the 5th. It's 7-4 Huskies here on Flow Sports. Ian Cook back to the mound here for the Huskies. In the top of the 5th, 3-run advantage for UConn. If you're just joining us, a little bit of back and forth early on. UConn got on the board first. An RBI double from Paul Tamero in that opening first inning at bat for UConn. St. John's followed, capitalizing on 4 walks from Gabe Van Emmen. So they plated 4 runs, but Ian Cook has come in and settled things down for the moment. And since then, UConn has scored 2 in the 2nd and 4 in the 3rd. This pitch low and away to Tucker for ball 1. Maddox Delana, Corey Morton, Luke Broadhurst with home runs tonight for the Huskies. Pitch swung on, fouled off to the right by Tucker, who has a triple and a double. As St. John's trying to get back to the conference tournament for the first time since their 2019 season. Pitch on the outer half, a slider for called strike 2. Had 28 wins a year ago, already have 22, 5-1. Their last 21 games, they're 19-1-1. It's a slider away, 2-2. No one on, nobody out to begin the 5th. Cook. His 2-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Got him with the slider. Chasing it off the plate is Tucker. Strikeout number 4 for Cookie. And there's one away here in the 5th. Another look at it. Tough pitch. As Cook looks dialed in right now. 39 pitches for Cook out of New Milford, Connecticut. First pitch. Beauchamp takes for a called strike. And again, could Ian Cook be auditioning for a potential weekend role next weekend at Georgetown? And slide Gabe Van Emmen back to the pen. There's another breaker falling in there for a called strike 2. More importantly, trying to win a series opener, something they haven't done all year long when they've played a traditional series. 0-2 swung on and missed, strike 3. Back-to-back Ks for Cook. And there's 2 away here in the 5th. As you see another look, a lot of those strikeouts tonight have been on the slider. 5 so far. Here's Mayberry. First pitch, fastball, misses high at 92. Right in the backside of the box for Mayberry. It's a swing and a miss. Look at his front foot too. Kind of turns that front foot at an interesting angle you don't see most batters. Look at that. 1-1. In there for a called strike 2. Well, it's been working this year. He entered tonight, hitting .422. That's 21st in the nation. 35 hits and 83 at-bats. Tonight, 0 for 2 as he takes low and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. As you can see on our graphic, average down to .412. Still pretty good. Cook. 2-2. Check swing. Did not go. They appeal down to first. It'll be a full count pitch upcoming. No one on, 2 outs. 7-4 Huskies here in the 5th. Ian Cook receives the sign. Payoff pitch. Swung on, fought off foul to the right. Another full count pitch upcoming. Huskies are pretty much straight up in the field here against Mayberry. 3-2. Just missed outside. There'll be a 2-out walk here in the 5th and allow Jimmy Keenan to bat in this 5th inning. Strikeout victim against Cook his last time up. Runner on, 2 outs. Cook to the stretch. The pitch. Breaking ball. Ball's in there for a called strike. That walk. Ended a streak of 10 straight batters retired for Cook. As he yanks a fastball outside. 1-1.
You know, UConn in such control tonight. Everything going their way. St. John's struggling defensively. UConn taking advantage with 3 home runs, but it's a 3-run ball game.
Pitch. A fastball in there for called strike 2.
Important batter here. Always a threat to go deep if you miss to Jimmy Keenan.
1-2. Breaking ball. Throws him for strike 3. A little emotion from Ian Cook as he strands a 2-out walk here in the 5th. Another 0 on the scoreboard for Cookie. And we're halfway home. It's 7-4 Huskies here on Flow Sports. Great look at Elliott Ballpark. Good crowd on hand. $2 beer night. Get the students out here. Lively crowd here. Just over 700, I think, was the attendance texted to me. As we get ready for the bottom of the 5th. UConn a 7-4 lead. It'll be Malcolm, Delana, and Spur. 7, 8, and 9 due up here for the Huskies. Try and extend it, as they've scored 1 in the first, 2 in the second, and 4 in the third. St. John's is countered with 4 across in the second.
Bears in the house, too.
I smelled that when you walked in here.
Yep. Got the brisket with the cornbread. The cornbread from Bears is legendary. They got the Kansas City Sweet Barbecue.
Now, that's at the food truck or that's at the concession?
That's the food truck.
Okay.
Just beyond the third base seats.
Matt Malcolm takes a breaker low and in.
And with Kansas State coming, a little taste of Kansas here. Actually, Kansas City's in Missouri, but close enough.
This pitch grounded foul. We will not be on the call for that one. That will be on CBS Sports Network. Though I think we will do a MixLR broadcast for that one.
All right.
So wind and a 1-1. Up and away. 2-1 the count.
Jonesy will give you the radio call. Paint the picture for you in case you don't have CBS Sports.
I got to get better equipment. That's one of the main reasons why we're not doing MixLR coupled with this broadcast for the Flow Sports games. This pitch misses away. Give people an alternative. I know it's kind of a hefty price for Flow. But we thank you all who are paying this subscription, tuning into us. Here's a dangerous count to Malcolm, who takes for a called strike.
It's a pretty nice pitch there on 3-1, not to give in and just groove one to Malcolm. Took a little something off, threw a changeup, spotted on the outer edge.
3-2, swung on and missed, strike 3. Malcolm's retired for out number 1. We'll bring Maddox Delana to the plate.
Yeah, the soft pitch on 3-1 makes the fastball look a little faster on 3-2, and it looks so good when it's up at the letters. For a hungry hitter like Matt Malcolm, always looking to hit the ball hard, get something up in the zone he can drive. That one too high and out of the zone.
Here's Maddox. Takes slow ball 1. This will be pitch number 50 for the left-hander. It's Marinero. So far, 2 innings, no hits, no runs, no walks, 2 Ks. Pitch elevated. It's 2-0.
Side armor getting loose out there for St. John's.
When you say side armor, I think Tim Cunningham off the top of my head, but we'll confirm that. It's a 2-0. Get the thumbs up from Dylan. St. John's SID as Maddox fouls it off. Maddox, it's always tough left on left. He's 2 for 20 against lefties this year. Pitch takes low. It's 3-1. Struck out swinging his first go around against Marinero.
This is where if he gets a fastball out over the plate, he might like to get a rip at it, try to go to the opposite field alley.
He swings and lifts one into the night sky, left center. Scavelli, he's there to grab it for out number 2.
And that was the approach. 3-1, you could get a curveball there from the lefty, and you wouldn't want to take a rip at that, but something that catches some plate might be the best pitcher going to get to hit against the left-hander, and he just got under it.
And now Mike Hampton will come out of the dugout. It's going to be a string of right-handed batters coming up. So it looks like it will be Cunningham will be coming in the game here in the 5th. No one on, 2 outs. When we come back here on Flow Sports. .6'6", 250-pound right-hander Tim Cunningham against Caleb Spur as a swing and a foul tip in the mitt. It's Randy Cunningham's numbers so far this year.
Very good. 15 appearances, a 1.69 ERA through 16 innings.
As he pumps in another strike.
He worked in both 2 of the games at Villanova. 2 innings on the 5th and 2/3 of an inning on the 7th, allowing 1 run in those 2 2/3.
Swinging a ground ball to short, and Orbaum, he bobbles it. Throw to first is late. The third error of the night for the St. John's shortstop. And a 2-out base runner here for the Huskies.
Orban came in with just 5 errors on the year and 3 tonight. And this is a routine ground ball that just fights him. He's fighting it right now. Now you got Spur on first, a 3-run lead. Top of your order up, Studley, a right-hander who stands 6'6". You know, throws sidearm. This is a great time to run early in the count if you're Spur to try to get yourself in scoring position.
Do you
Studley.
still go with Jimmy Keenan back there?
3-run lead, Studley up. You can be more risky. The reward is probably greater than the risk with a 3-run lead. And again, I'm curious to see, this is the first time seeing Cunningham, how he holds runners on, and with that funky delivery, how quick he gets the ball to home plate. You often steal on the pitcher and not the catcher.
So here's Studley. 0 for 3 tonight, reached on air his last at bat. He takes for a called strike.
UConn dugout and fans did not like that call.
Caleb takes his lead at first. 0-1 the count. The pitch, up and away. A little start and stop for Caleb. He thought about it. That was a pretty good pitch to throw for Keenan. So he was up out of the crouch.
Perfect 10 for 10 on the bases this year, and 2 pitches in. Pretty impressed at how quick the big right-hander gets the ball to home plate.
1-1, swung through and missed. It's 1-2 to Studley.
You might as well go now. If you do get thrown out, then Studley leads off. 1-2 is a great count with 2 outs to go, especially when the top of your order is at the plate down in the count.
Runner on, 2 outs, home half the 5th. The pitch, there he goes, pitch low, throw to second is in time. A bullet from Keenan as Spur thought he got the hand in. He wants to review it. It was a bang-bang play. It was a great throw from Keenan. The jump was pretty good for Caleb. And so we'll probably get another review here. We'll get a look before the umpires do.
I mean,
he might be in there. Yeah.
There is. I mean, the throw's impressive by Keenan, but Spur looked like he was in there pretty clean. He's worried about the middle infielder who he collided with. Then realizes he got banked out. And he looked pretty clearly safe on that first replay.
They'll get a look at it.
Jimmy Keenan shows off that cannon behind home plate. Again, 1-2, 2 outs. If you get thrown out, then Studley leads off next half inning. But the reward is greater than the risk because you get a chance to get Studley up there looking to add to a 3-run lead with a 2-2 pitch. Jimmy Keenan, man, he could get it down there to second base. I mean, he's safe.
He's in there.
That is pretty clear, and the hand never comes off the bag. The knee's in contact with the bag. If this review doesn't show that he's safe, what we just saw, there may be a flaw in the system.
We're
going to talk about irrefutable evidence. That looked pretty clear.
We're going to relay some scores from the Big East right now. Creighton and Xavier suspended. Creighton a 7-5 lead in the top of the 7th of that series opener. Villanova a 3-1 lead over Seton Hall, top of the 9th inning. That could potentially be Villanova's first win in conference. They're currently 0-6 after being swept by Georgetown and swept by these Johnnies.
That's kind of interesting. That's got to be an awkward conversation, right? Safe. He's out there talking about Spur at second base, talking to the guy, Jeffrey Arthur, who called him out. And the replay shows that, in fact, it is the 11th stolen base and 11 tries for Spur.
Just that little reach towards the third base side of the bag allowed Caleb to get in. So an opportunity here for Jake. Runner in scoring position with 2 down. 2-2. It's low, and Studley lays off. Full count pitch upcoming. Here to Studs.
Tim Cunningham does not look like somebody a right-handed hitter could be very comfortable to hit against.
3-2 swung on, hit on the ground to second. Brands is there. He'll toss on to first. And they're able to avoid trouble in the 5th. UConn threatened after the error, but we'll go to the 6th. 7-4 Connecticut here on Flow Sports. First pitch of the top of the 6th, a fastball strike from Ian Cook. Facing the only lefty in this order in the starting lineup, Luke Orban. As Cook. 0-1, swung on and missed. It's 0-2 as Cook so far gone 3 2/3 out of the Husky pen. And he'll step off. I think we're going to have a switch here. Luke's going to go to shallow right, and Paul Tamero is going to shift over. There's going to be a pitch clock. Because of that shift, there's going to be a violation. I think they're going to put a ball on the scoreboard. So 1-2. That is the case. So Cook. A 1-2. It's on the outside corner, called strike 3. 7th punch out for Cook out of the bullpen. And there's one away. Get a look at his strikeouts today. A lot on the off speed. That may have been the first one on a fastball. So get a look. Ian Cook, 4 innings of work with 7 Ks. His first pitch to Paul Orban is swung on and missed. 0-1.
Again, this looks so much like last Friday against Xavier, other than the score being in UConn's favor. The way he came out of the pen, he dealt, 9 strikeouts against Xavier? 7 tonight? I mean, he is racking them up right now. Ian Cook looks like the guy that they thought they were going to have last year when he was the preseason Big East pitcher of the year, but then battled injuries, fought it, gutted it out there. But right now, healthy, locked in, his stuff is playing, and he's missing a lot of bats.
0-2 outside. That was pitch number 60, which is technically 59 because they had the ball that was placed on the pitch clock violation. He didn't throw a pitch. So 1-2. Sails it high. It's even at deuces. No one on, 1 out. Top of the 6th. 4 runs on 3 hits for St. John's. 7 runs on 7 hits as St. John's committed 5 errors today. This pitch swung on and missed, strike 3. Back-to-back Ks for Cookie. And there's 2 away here in the 6th.
He strikes out both Orbans. Luke looking on a fastball, and Paul waving at a slider. The only thing about that strikeout of Luke Orban. With Luke Broadhurst playing in shallow right field, I was really hoping to see a ground ball hit in a right field that would have gone in the box. That would have to be a 5-3, grounded out to third in right field.
First pitch misfire, ball 1. That's the first time we've seen Luke go over to the right side. A 1-0. Swung on, hit on the ground. Maddox, he deals with the spin and steps on the bag for a 1-2-3 frame. Ian Cook is locked in right now. As we go to the bottom of the 6th, a 7-4 lead here in Stores on Flow Sports. Back here at Elliott Ballpark. Let's get a look at the scores from today. Villanova able to get their first win. And Big East play, 1-6. Again, that Creighton-Xavier game suspended. They'll resume it tomorrow, I believe at 1 p.m. out in Cincinnati. And here comes Brian Padilla. Let's get a look at the standings. Georgetown off to a good start. St. John's undefeated after their first weekend against Villanova. Tim Cunningham back to the bump. And here is Brian Padilla. First pitch, a line drive, base hit into left field. Leadoff single here to begin the 6th. So UConn looking for some insurance.
Cunningham, the side armor, running that one down and into Padilla, and he's able to bring his hands inside. Pitch middle in, and turn it around for a base hit between the third baseman and shortstop, the 5.5 hole.
Here's Paul. He squares, lays it down third base side, but a spinner foul.
You know, what a weapon UConn has in Paul Tamero in the 3 spot. Corey Morton homered today. Luke Broadhurst followed him for back-to-back shots. During this strong stretch for UConn, Corey Morton, who's had a very good season, maybe was one guy that cooled off a little bit. Didn't want to say he's slumping. He's not, but you know the numbers he's going to give you from what he's done the past couple of years. You got a 3 guy up that can move a guy over with those big bats following behind. And, of course, Tamero can hit himself. I mean, he's leading the team in hitting. An RBI double tonight for Tamero to give UConn the early lead in the first, but also a threat to bunt for a hit. He laid down a sac bunt earlier. And then Corey Morton, instead of situational hitting, here's your situational hitting, took a hanger and hit it about 420 feet. Still, great to have Paul Tamero hitting in front of Corey Morton and Luke Broadhurst.
This pitch sails high, a wiffle ball slider. Misses up. The set. Here's a 1-2. Check swing, did he go? He did, strike 3. 1 away here for the Huskies in the 6th.
Trying to hold up. That ball just kind of sliding and sliding away. The frisbee. And Tamero tried to. I mean, that's pretty close looking, at least from that angle. But, of course, first base umpire Federico de Jesus has the best view.
First pitch to Core. is low, almost skipped away from Keenan. Well, here come the big boppers in the middle of this order, but like you said, Corey Morton could easily lay down a bunt, look for a bunt for a base hit opportunity here. If he doesn't feel comfortable against the side armor, the submariner. So he swings and fouls it back.
I think that's another reason why Tamero and Morton complement each other in the 3 and 4 spot, because similar skill sets, right? They can both bunt for a hit, leg it out, and also knock it around the yard. In Corey's case earlier, out of the yard.
A 1-1, swung on, fouled back. 1 and 2. And also the thing as well, Randy, with the guy in the on-deck circle, if any of these guys get on, there's an attention paid to Corey Morton and Paul Tamero on the bases, where if you leave a pitch out over the plate, you rush a pitch, Luke Broadhurst can take you deep. As Luke and Morton, as a swing and a miss, waved at that pitch for strike 3. Luke and Corey are your career home run leaders for UConn right now, active at 21 apiece. Corey in his 4 years, Luke in just his 2 has 21 long balls.
Well, tough for any right-handed hitter to hit this square. Well, that's a tight pitch. Perfectly spotted just off the corner, knee high.
As Luke fouls it back. That's where you'd love Corey to try and shoot one to right field. But usually he's going to pull the baseball or hit it back up the middle. Not a ton of his hits going to right. 2 down here for Broadhurst. So he takes outside, 1 and 1.
Cunningham certainly a workhorse in his time with St. John's. His redshirt sophomore year in 2022 led the team with 31 appearances. Made 27 relief appearances last year.
That one in the left-handed batter's box. 2 and 1.
Usually short stints for him, though. He has not gone more than 2 full innings pitched this season.
Hitters count here for Luke. He swings and drives one down the right field line. Will it stay fair? It will not. Just to the right of the pole. And it's 2 and 2.
Broadhurst making a bid for another home run, and that wasn't fouled by much off the right-handed bat, and especially with the pitch he's facing. Just too much spin, too much tailing action on that drive down the right field line as he flirted with a right field foul pole.
Padilla back to first. 2 and 2 the count. Pitch outside, and Luke lays off. So Padilla will get a head start. 3 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs. Trying to add to this 3-run advantage. No one scored since the 3rd. 3-2. It's low, ball 4. Inning will continue here for Matt Garbowski, which Randy, a left-hander, should see the ball a little bit easier against Cunningham.
Now that pitch that dives down and away to right-handers, if you miss, it slides down and in right into a left-handed hitter like Garbowski's wheelhouse. He likes it down and in. We saw him turn on a couple of pitches in this stretch where the pitcher missed his spot about thigh-high, middle in, and Garbowski laced it into right field.
First pitch, swung on, chopped to third. It's going to get past and into left field. Padilla's around third. He will score. It's an RBI single for Garbo. And UConn does extend the lead. It's 8-4.
Well, sometimes it's your night. Garbowski beats this one into the turf, and he gets the benefit of the big bounce. Going against the shift.
And here comes your guy, T.C. Simmons is going to pinch hit here for Malcolm after going 2 for 2 off the bench on Wednesday.
Well, we talk about in the midweek games when a game's out of control that
got a nice little pyramid going over there.
It's Friday night in stores.
Yep.
When a game in the midweeks is out of control, and as it was against Maine, it's a very big moment for certain guys. And T.C. Simmons, who hadn't played in a long time, has been a very good player for UConn during his time in Stores. Got his number called against Maine, hit a 2-run triple, then went opposite field with a 2-run double.
So he takes outside ball 1.
And, you know, with Matt Malcolm, you can piece it together. Now, if you get Simmons hot, he could be a guy off the bench for this spot. It's a perfect spot for him and Coach Penders to pinch hit him here.
As he swings, rips one, diving play by Brienza to get out of trouble. What a catch by the St. John's second baseman who saved at least a run. TC, good swing in the bat there. Just some bad luck as you get another look at it. Going to break. Brienza, full extension. Nice catch. 8-4 Huskies here on Flow Sports. Eight for UConn, going to the top of the 7th as Ian Cook falls down to the turf on his warm-up pitches. As we'll kick it over to my buddy Randy Brochu, take you the rest of the way in this one.
Thank you, Jonesy. Thanks for the middle innings. And that's what UConn's thinking of saying to Ian Cook right now, because he has come on and given UConn exactly what they needed. At one point, leading 1-0, but then starter Gabe Van Emmen gives up 4 in the second. Enter Cook, who gets out of further jams, leaves it a 3-run game and lets the Huskies take advantage of some mistakes in the field for St. John's. They've made 5 errors tonight.
There's
no error on the Brienza play, though. What was there?
You remember last game, too, the throw across the diamond where he hit the ground, hit the deck, trying to get out of the way?
On the throw from third. Well, on a night when St. John's has struggled defensively, that was a wonderful play by Brienza. What a catch to take a hit away from Simmons, but good baseball all around. T.C. Simmons pinch hitting in a spot. I mean, you can't hit it much harder or better than he did. It was a good quality at bat. And even though it doesn't get through, a great play is made on him. I think it's 3 great swings from T.C. Simmons in his at-bats this past week. Garrett Scavelli fouls it away.
And we said it's a long season. You got a veteran on the bench like TC, whether you got to potentially bring him in for defense or a pinch hit spot against a right-hander like that situation. That's why it's so important. Just keep working behind the scenes and you'll get your moment.
Scavelli takes just outside. Close pitch.
I mean, just look at St. John's and some of their guys that didn't play last season much and continue to work, continue to put in the work behind the scenes, and now they're key contributors.
Back towards the middle. Padilla can't field it clean, and Garrett Scavelli is aboard. So Scavelli walked earlier today. And the second inning have scored a run. That's a tough play for Padilla. He's got to field it clean, probably jump and throw it at first, and it should be a hit, I would imagine.
Yeah,
what do you think, Jonesy?
That'll be a base hit. Would have to field it cleanly and then throw across his body or jump throw over to first, as you mentioned.
Garrett Scavelli aboard. And Anthony Brienza takes a strike, squaring the bunt. I have to admit, I got a soft spot for Scavelli. Got to know his folks very well over the summer in New Britain. Great family he comes from. Those watching Garrett tonight, hello from Connecticut. Down and away to Brienza. 1 ball, 1 strike. He was awesome for the Bees this summer. All-star in the Futures League. He was terrific. And this has been what St. John's is doing, right? Like they've been taken from Malloy and Division II, JUCO levels, guys that have really succeeded, maybe under-recruited through
and
high
building
school,
them up.
prove themselves, and say, you know what, we see a ball player here. Come play in the Big East. It's been going well for St. John's, certainly, with 22 wins. Not tonight, though. 8-4 UConn. And the pitch is outside from Ian Cook.
And again, we said they're trying to get back to the conference tournament for the first time since 2019. But, boy, these last 3 years, whenever you either make the trip to Queens or St. John's comes here, it's just a list of injuries that they've had to deal with.
Rolled to third. Broadhurst goes to second. Padilla's relay to first. Not in time to turn 2. Scavelli's cut down. Broadhurst gets the lead runner. And Brienza reaches on a fielder's choice.
Nice job to get the lead runner there for Luke. Get another look at it. Knew he probably wasn't going to get the double play, so made sure of an accurate throw to second.
Actually, Scavelli made that a little closer than you thought it would have because of that second bounce, but Broadhurst guides the throw accurately to Padilla. And again, UConn is playing error-free defense, making the plays, not only the great plays, and there have been a couple of really good plays, maybe not great plays tonight, but making all the plays. That goes a long way. Goes a long way for the pitch count of this pitching staff. That goes a long way in a 3-game series to keep the pitch count down. Keep guys fresh out of the pen for tomorrow and Sunday.
Looks like Braden Quinn has picked up a baseball in the UConn bullpen, is throwing.
2-0 pitch outside.
Joe Correa also throwing in that Husky pen. Get a look out there. Joe the righty, Quinn the lefty.
Cook hits the outside corner with strike 1. And again, this one all game has felt, really since UConn had those back-to-back home runs. Yeah, maybe since Maddox Delana brought him within 1 in the second with a home run. I think this is going to be a good ball game for UConn, very locked in.
I think the key inning in this game was after Maddox hit the home run and Cook came out in the third and went 1-2-3. It was you got a 0 on the board.
Absolutely.
St. John's had momentum with the 4 runs in the second, and you're able to put a 0 on the scoreboard pretty quickly.
But this is a 22-win team that is very capable
Absolutely.
of putting together a big inning. And now Cook, working into the 7th after coming on in the 2nd, walks Jackson Tucker, and all of a sudden the tying run's in the on-deck circle.
First walk of the night for Cook. He's at 79 pitches.
He's giving you a starter's effort.
I mean, that's the first real mistake for Cook tonight. He's allowed 2 hits. One, the chopper double, and the base hit that we just saw from Padilla up the middle. And I will correct myself. That's his second walk he's had, not his first.
That's outside. Ball 1 to Ben Beauchamp. No, you're right. The 2 hits have been seeing eye hits. But 2 Johnnies on the bases and a good hitter at the plate. A swing and a miss by Beauchamp. 1-1.
I mean, up and down this lineup, there's not an easy out. When you're hitting 314 as a team.
This is where he wants to maybe get a slider down in the zone and get Beauchamp to hit a ground ball. Instead of swing and a miss, he'll take that too. It was a slider down, and it's 1-2. But if you're going to live out of the zone, you want it to be down. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 on, 1 out. And a swing and a miss on the slider for strike 3. It's a big out.
4th strikeout of the game for Beauchamp. And a lot of them have been on this slider. I think all of them have been on the slider. first against Gabe and then 3 against Cook. Now
Tough customer.
Yep, and here's the dangerous Mayberry. I think Garbo has an equipment issue. Home plate umpire Timothy Carey will chat with him. Might be the earpiece, could be the mask.
Also has the glasses. They may have fogged up. He wants to be locked in here from Mayberry. He came in hitting .422. Strike 1 on the outside corner. Cook's been painting that edge. Taking out the brush, doing a little edge work. Mayberry crowds the plate. He chases a high fastball, and it's 0-2.
92 on that heater for Cook. He's been pretty much living 91 to 93 this outing.
9 strikeouts out of the bullpen for Ian Cook. That one is just outside.
That's a great take by Mayberry. Do you double up with it here? Or do you elevate with a fastball? We'll see what Cook opts to do.
The 1-2 pitch. Punched foul. Ian Cook looking for his 10th strikeout as he tries to strand 2 St. John's runners with a 4-run lead. The 1-2 pitch. Just missed. Little up, maybe a little out. 2-2. Even his misses have been just off the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Mayberry. The pitch from Cook. He got him looking. His 10th strikeout. And he is fired up coming off the mound. What a job by Ian Cook tonight out of the bullpen, making a statement for the Hook C. Time to stretch here at Elliott Ballpark. Get on up, everybody. We're going to the bottom of the 7th on this first Friday night game of the season under the lights and stores. It's UConn 8, St. John's 4. UConn 8, St. John's 4. As the fans who have come out on a Friday night settle back into their seats following the stretch. Man, Ian Cook, 10 strikeouts in relief today and looking like the ace that UConn believes he can be.
I mean, just a big-time performance for him. We saw it last week. Unfortunately, he did it when the Huskies were down by so many runs. And what did we say? Let's see Ian Cook do it in a tight situation. And he's able to ring up Mayberry with some emotion. Probably the final pitch he throws tonight, especially after using all that emotion after getting out of trouble. Let's see if the Huskies can get some more. As you mentioned, Randy, it's just a Grand Slam game right now. Here's Delana.
St. John's did not like that call on Mayberry. Mayberry really didn't like it. Strike 2 Delana. But here's the thing, when you're pounding the zone and you're hitting your spots on the corner, you maybe get the benefit of that borderline pitch, and that pitch was borderline.
And
0-2 now as Delana watches a strike go by.
And I got to think a little bit of this crowd helps out there, getting on the umpire on a couple of the previous pitches.
The 0-2, up and away. Now they're human beings too. They get fired up for the big strike 3 call. Delana hit a long home run early in this game. He watches that one go by low and away, 2-2.
I mean, Randy, he might come back out after that with one righty up, Keenan.
Oh, Delana gets into another one, a moonshot! Way back into right center field, and his second home run of the ball game. Maddox Delana is on some kind of tear right now. His 7th home run of the season. And his 6th home run in the last 7 games.
I mean, this is not an easy part of the park to hit one out of, as Delana able to unload the Mad Dog. My goodness, he's on fire.
And he was sure fired up, coming around the bases, maybe playing off that emotion, that lift that this team has gotten from Ian Cook. Now 9-4 UConn. 4 home runs again today for Connecticut. 8 home runs over the last 2 games. Now that one will chase Tim Cunningham from the ball game. 9-4 UConn, getting great relief pitching from Ian Cook, taking advantage of defensive mistakes and clobbering the baseball. A long way today. Another cloud scraper from Maddox Delana for his 2nd home run tonight, and a 5-run lead for the Huskies. What has gotten into the UConn Huskies? Now up to 43 home runs on the season. Maddox Delana with 2 of them tonight. Friday night's all right for Maddox Delana. He hit 2 home runs last Friday as well in a losing effort to Xavier. And UConn has gotten deeper into the pen for St. John's, making his 5th appearance. Right-hander Andrew Castelluccio.
A Connecticut native from Ridgefield, 6'3", 200 pounds for the sophomore.
Strike 1 at the knees is in there to Caleb Spur.
4 appearances, 1 start, a 10.29 ERA in 7 innings, 4 walks, and 4 Ks.
Breaking ball low, 1-1.
Randy, I think this is the UConn team we thought we were going to get this year. in terms of the way they played this recent stretch.
That's a called strike to spur over the outside edge. 1-2, and Jonesy, we've talked all about it, that when Big East play begins, it's going to take on a new meaning this year for UConn than in recent years past. The Spur strikes out. Castelluccio with a K against his first batter. Because the non-conference didn't go as it had gone in previous years for UConn, they're going to have to win the Big East to get back to the NCAA tournament.
Absolutely.
And since Big East play has begun, these look like the UConn Huskies you've been accustomed to seeing over this great stretch, going to the NCAA tournament just about every year.
5
straight years and 5 straight seasons in which there has been an NCAA tournament.
2020 started off promising. Took a series from #1 Michigan. Obviously abbreviated. That thing they called COVID that affected our lives.
That thing? Oh, that?
Yeah. Kind of flipped the world on its head.
Studley bounces it to third. Mayberry makes the play. And there's 2 outs in the Connecticut 7th. Castelluccio coming on. This has got to be cool for him, although for Ridgefield, he's probably closer geographically to St. John's than Storrs, but still a Connecticut kid playing here at UConn.
Got to think his parents are in attendance.
He was all FCAC at Ridgefield High School. Down and away, ball 1 to Brian Padilla. Made 3 starts last year as a freshman. 7 appearances total. And he was good in 13 1/3 innings, just a 1.35 ERA and a 2-0 record. Outside of Padilla, 3-0.
Again, Randy, we've been saying it a lot. Huskies are now double-digit in hits again tonight with 10.
Ball 4 to Padilla. And they've been putting themselves in good counts, and they've been taking their walks.
Yep, tied a
as well.
season high with 10 walks on Wednesday against Maine. Tonight, not nearly as many as that game against the Black Bears. But for the Huskies this evening, 3 walks and a hit by pitch. Excuse me. Yep, 3 walks. It's updated with Padilla's walk.
Paul Tamero looks at ball 1. He doubled to the left field wall to drive in UConn's first run in the first inning. That gave UConn an early lead. Laid down a sac bunt in the third and has since popped to second and struck out swinging. Castelluccio leaves one up. That's line to left. Sinking, knocked down by Garrett Scavelli, but a base hit. His throw goes to second as Padilla goes first to third. Then it's runners on the corners for the Huskies with 2 outs.
Now a little 2-out rally. The walk followed by the single. Now Corey Morton an opportunity to try and break this one open a little bit more.
Tough play by out there in left field for Scavelli. And he knocks it down, prevents extra bases. And now Corey Morton. With Tamero at first base with his second hit, the 11th of the night for UConn. Morton had a long 2-run home run in the 3rd inning. And he goes after the first one and hits a high fly to right. Beauchamp makes the catch. And the inning is over, but Maddox Delana continues his home run tear. Another 2-home run game as Delana goes out and gets it and launches out to right center field. The 4th home run of the night for UConn to give them a 9-4 lead as we go to the 8th.
Enjoy the game. Go Huskies.
Ian Cook is back on the mound for the 8th inning. Look at the job he's done tonight out of the pen. 5 2/3 scoreless innings with 10 strikeouts on 90 pitches. And when you couple that with Xavier and what he did out of the pen, that's 11 innings out of the bullpen the last 2 weekends. Just 6 hits allowed with 19 strikeouts. And those are over 11 scoreless innings. 11 shutout innings out of the bullpen for Ian Cook combined against Xavier and now St. John's. 2-1 as he misses upstairs to Jimmy Keenan. And once again, he's right on the outside corner. Staying out of the middle of the plate. Hitting spots in total command right now. The 2-2. Fouled off by Keenan.
And again, Randy, with the way Cook's throwing, that really lengthens your rotation. You know Gabe Van Emmen's given you good starts in the past, but you get into a tournament format where maybe you get into a loser's bracket and need multiple guys to start. Gabe Van Emmen's not a bad number 4 to hand the ball to.
Off the plate, 3-2. Just the emotion and fire he pitches with, and obviously harnessing the stuff. It looks like he is screaming to his coaching staff to give him the ball on Friday nights.
You'd love to just punctuate it right here with one more punch out. Hand the ball to Braden Quinn.
3-2. Trying to empty the tank here. And a sensational performance out of the pen. It's ripped and caught by Padilla. Perfectly playing Jimmy Keenan into the shift. He's playing in short center field, and what should have been a line drive base hit for Jimmy Keenan is a diving backhanded catch by Brian Padilla.
And they're going to leave Cook out there here with no one on and one out.
Again, what he's doing for this team is not only giving them a lift to win this game, but putting their bullpen in the best position to succeed tomorrow and Sunday.
It's a great point, Randy. Got Garrett Coe on the bump tomorrow. He'll go against Chafee. Couple lefties going at it.
Luke Orban 0 for 2 tonight with a walk. Down in the count 0-1. Down in the count 0-2.
And again, your defense getting you outs.
That was a really nice play by Padilla. It's really the first ball that's been hit hard off of Cook.
Yes.
0-2 on Luke Orban. And Cook strikes him out. Strikeout number 11 for Ian Cook. It comes on the slider. He gets Luke Orban looking. 2 down in the 8th.
Cook says, let's save Braden for tomorrow. I'll ring up the lefty. My goodness, Ian Cook tonight. And again, a guy that has had his bumps in the road, but he is starting to string good outing after good outing together.
There'll be a pinch hitter here for St. John's.
It's going to be Chad Falcon to pinch hit.
Falcon takes high for ball 1.
.101 pitches now for Cook.
That one looked pretty good. He didn't get the call on that one. He missed his spot. Matt Garbowski indicates to his dugout that it might have been a little inside. Close pitch. Ruled ball 2. Falcon takes a strike. Now 2-1. Falcon from Stony Point, New York, a freshman. And he rolls it softly to Brian Padilla. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Ian Cook. Another scoreless inning for Ian Cook. His fourth 1-2-3 inning of the ball game. And we'll go to the bottom of the 8th now with UConn up by 5, 9-4 over St. John's. UConn leading 9-4 over St. John's. Looking to snap a 7-game unbeaten streak for the Johnnies, who have made a change at catcher. Max Auday has come in behind the plate. Sophomore from Calabasas, California, by way of Los Angeles County College. The Huskies looking to make it 6 of 7 and 5 straight. Creeping back towards 500, but more importantly, looking to move to 3-1 in Big East play and hand the Red Storm their first loss in conference after sweeping Villanova last weekend. Andrew Castelluccio back to the hill. A sophomore from Ridgefield, Connecticut. Came on as the 4th pitcher last half inning. Recorded a strikeout. Issued a walk and gave up a hit, but did not give up a run. He'll face Luke Broadhurst, Matt Garbowski, and T.C. Simmons scheduled. Simmons pinch hit for Malcolm in the 6th, and presumably is still in the game as the designated hitter. Broadhurst with one of the 4 UConn home runs tonight. He went back-to-back with Corey Morton in the 3rd, launching one way over the left field bullpen. Where Chad Falcon has just raced out to. Falcon grabbed the bat, but Falcon is listed as a left-handed pitcher. Falcon grounded to second, pinch hitting for Paul Orban. Ball 1 to Luke Broadhurst. He gets on top of a curve and hits it hard on the ground to short. Luke Orban throws him out, and Broadhurst is retired for the first out of the 8th. Here's Matt Garbowski with another quietly solid day, right? 3 for 4, a couple runs scored, an RBI base hit last time going against the shift. A 2-out hit, which we really haven't talked about today, but the 2-out hitting has been another positive thing for UConn during this hot stretch. They've been able to keep tacking on. Garbowski takes strike 1. And with his 3 hits tonight, Garbowski is up to an even 300 on the season. 2-1 as he watches a changeup go by low and away. Ball 3. Castelluccio falls behind.
See what the bullpen looks like for the Huskies right now. It looks pretty quiet.
3-2 now on Garbowski.
Another 3-2 count the Huskies have worked tonight.
Hit hard to the right side. Nice play out there at second base by Anthony Brienza. He's been a bright spot defensively. He had a range into the hole, spin and throw to first to get Garbowski. He made such a good play on T.C. Simmons in the 6th inning, taking an RBI base hit away from Simmons. A diving backhanded catch. So Simmons gets another at-bat after going 2 for 2 off the bench against Maine with a 2-run triple and a double down the left field line. Had a hit taken away last time by Brienza. And he hits here with 2 outs and nobody on, ball 1. Low for ball 2.
And you can see that TC's starting to see it well, laying off some tough pitches.
3-0. Castelluccio will look to come all the way back as he looks for a clean inning. It's a 4-pitch walk. T.C. Simmons is on base.
TC's got some speed. Maybe try and get him in motion with Keenan out of the game. Test the new catcher. Though I don't know. Do you try with this guy at the plate? He gets homered twice tonight.
Maddox Delena's in scoring position in the batter's box right now. 6 home runs in his last 7 games, including 2 tonight. Looking for a 3-homer night. He takes a strike.
Been a long time since the Huskies have had a 3-homer night.
I get the feeling if he gets anything in the zone right now, he's got a chance. That's on the outside corner. Very good pitch. Castelluccio hits the outside edge to make it 0-2. Now maybe would be a good time to get Simmons going. See if Castelluccio throws him something off speed. Not going. It's a fastball. Outside. Yeah, you don't want to run into an out, even with a 5-run lead with Delana at the plate.
Can just as easily split a gap or hit one over the fence.
The 1-2. Outside to trying to stay away.
And again, good takes.
Yep.
Not chasing. And really good with 2 strikes in these last 7 games.
And he's your 8-hitter. Oh, he gets into another one. Deep right field. It is a 3-home run night for Maddox Delana over the right field wall. What can I say? Seeing the ball well right now. 3 home runs for Maddox Delana, and he's broken it open. 11-4 UConn.
I mean, he is in some kind of zone right now. Remember, at one point this season, he was 3 for 30. But those days are long gone for the sophomore. As you get another look at home run number 3 on the night.
Way too much play, and he drops to the back knee for liftoff. Over the right field wall. 5 runs batted in tonight for Delana. 11-4 UConn.
The last time a UConn player hit 3 home runs. Pretty good one. Mike Olt versus Seton Hall, May 20th, 2010.
Well, Maddox Delana does something here at UConn that hasn't been done in 14 seasons. Ball 2 to Spur.
I don't think he's going to have a shot. Brian Packin in 1999, Jeff Usello 1996, hitting 4 home runs in a game. They'd have to bat around here with 2 outs.
2-2 low. I go back to the 9th inning a week ago when things were looking kind of bleak.
8th inning for him. He hit the first one in the 8th and then hits the second one in the 9th. When you're down 9-0 at the time.
Foul ball by Spur, pulled down the third baseline. Yeah, he hit a solo home run in the 8th. That made it 9-1. You're thinking blowout. But UConn, with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th against Xavier in that Friday game, rallied to make it 9-5. Got the tying run to the on-deck circle, made it into a save situation. They won a 1-0 game Sunday. Outside of that, they haven't stopped hitting. Foul ball by Spur. And they showed that they could win a tight one-run game.
That game was so key. Just to be able to grind it out when you couldn't get a hit with a runner in scoring position and your pitching and defense backs you up. You win 1-0, take the series. That was the game that has really spurred what could be a 5-game win streak.
Look out, that runs inside and is a foul ball and hit the bat.
If UConn can get 3 more outs, I think they'll be 15-16. I think this will be the closest they are to 500 since the Auburn weekend, so the 3rd weekend of the regular season. Because after Auburn, they are swept at UC Santa Barbara.
Spur walks.
Again, these are still good at-bats. Up by 7, not giving up any ABs here.
Jake Studley gets an at-bat with 2 outs. Spur stole second earlier today. Originally ruled out, but was awarded second base upon review. That was in the 5th inning. To move to 11 for 11 on the season in stolen base attempts. Tap foul by Studley.
And Randy, I apologize. It wasn't Auburn, it was earlier than that. When they lost the second game against Cal to move to 2-3 on the season. That's the last time they were 1 game under 500. That was back on February 24th.
Fought off by Studley on an 0-2 curve. Well, they're 3 outs away from moving to 15-16.
And getting their first win in an opener since opening day against Louisville on February 16th.
Strike 3. Studley with a wry smile. Maybe the zone expands a little bit here with the score now 11-4 UConn, thanks to the 3rd home run of the night for Maddox Delana, the first UConn Husky to go deep in a game 3 times in 14 years. Maddox Delana now with 7 home runs in his last 7 games. And UConn is 3 outs away from a series opening win. All Connecticut tonight here in stores. UConn leading 11-4. 3 home runs by Maddox Delana and a huge lift out of the bullpen by this guy. Ian Cook back out there for the 9th. And even though this is a relief appearance, it's got the feel of going like a complete game, right? He came on in the 2nd inning with 1 out, and he's still out there in the 9th with 11 strikeouts already.
This is Marty Higgins pinch hitting.
Down to the count, 1-2.
Higgins this year, just 3 games, 2 for 6 for the former all-conference performer. And both those hits have been doubles.
The 1-2 from Cook. Slider, check swing, and Higgins holds up. Ian Cook unscored upon in his last 11 1/3 innings, including 6 2/3 shutout out of the bullpen tonight. Ball 3 misses outside. The payoff pitch. Foul ball on a challenge fastball to Higgins. Three balls, 2 strikes. Cook over 106 pitches, all in relief. Strikeout number 12 on the outside corner at the knees. He spots one on a heater, still touching 92 on the fastball. And there is his 12th K. Perfectly placed.
Just a special night for Cookie tonight. Those 12 strikeouts, a new career high.
Maddox Delana over at first base saying, man, I hit 3 home runs tonight, and my boy on the mound is stealing the show. It's all right. You need it on all facets of the game. Delana, 3 for 5 tonight, with 3 home runs and 5 runs batted in. Ball 1 to Garrett Scavelli. Extended his on-base streak with a walk and then singled his last time up. 1 of 4 hits tonight for St. John's. Strike 2 on the outside corner at the knees. And the St. John's batters are not loving the strike zone, but Ian Cook is putting it where he wants tonight. 1-2 on Scavelli. He struck him out. Strikeout number 13 for Ian Cook. 2 down in the 9th.
Ian Cook, the first UConn pitcher to have 13 punch-outs since Austin Peterson on opening night back in 2022 against USF.
This is a special performance tonight from Ian Cook, who has struck out 13. Ball 1 misses low to Anthony Brienza.
The only more dominant outing here at Elliott I can remember was Ben Kasparius against Georgetown. 15 strikeouts in 7 innings of work.
Fouled away on a fastball to Brienza, and it's 1-1. Trying to go 7 2/3 innings of relief. He's allowed only 2 hits with 2 walks and 13 strikeouts. A career night for Ian Cook. Looking to end it in style. The 1-1 fouled away, and it's 1-2. And a chance to strike out the side to punctuate what has been an absolutely brilliant performance by Ian Cook. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs in the 9th. 11 for UConn. Ian Cook looking to strike out the side to end the ball game. The 1-2 is too high.
Crowd wanted it, but that was up and out.
Pitch number 118 for Ian Cook. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here it is. He struck him out. Just incredible. Ian Cook, simply sensational tonight out of the UConn bullpen with 14 strikeouts in relief in 7 2/3. And he is making a case to be the ace.
I don't think there's a case anymore after what he did tonight against a very good St. John's lineup. Remember, a team hitting .314 coming into tonight. They were red hot. They got 4 runs on the board in that 2nd inning. and all of a sudden Ian Cook just flipped a switch, and he's able to save the remainder of that bullpen for the rest of this series. What a performance. 14 strikeouts, the most for a UConn pitcher since that Ben Kasperius 15 punch-out game back in 2021.
Special nights from Maddox Delana, who hit 3 home runs. The first UConn Husky to do so in a game in 14 seasons. 14 is the number tonight as Ian Cook dominates out of the bullpen and strikes out 14 St. John's batters in a statement victory for UConn in Game 1 of this 3-game series in the Big East. 11-4, UConn beats St. John's. That snaps St. John's unbeaten streak at 8. St. John's had been 19-1-1 over their last 21. But the UConn Huskies have now won 5 straight and 6 of their last 7. They moved to 15-16 on the season, 3-1 in Big East play. St. John's now 22-6-1, but 3-1 in Big East play. 5 home runs tonight for the UConn Huskies. Everybody's hitting, but some are doing it in a style on a different level, like Maddox Delana with 3 home runs tonight. And the UConn Huskies beat St. John's 11-4. Game 2 tomorrow at 2 p.m. right here on Flow Sports. We hope you'll join us as UConn has a chance for another series win in the Big East. Tonight, behind an incredible 3 home run night by Maddox Delana and 7 2/3 shutout innings from Ian Cook with 14 strikeouts, UConn beat St. John's 11-4. For Chris Jones, my partner in the booth, Noam Watt, and our entire outstanding crew, this is Randy Brochu saying thanks for joining us and so long from Stores.